And we're live.
Welcome, everyone.
Hi, Malky Dot. Golden Steady, BCA, good to see you. Sean, Rich, Alex Finland, welcome, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Looks good.
All right. You ready to go?
Yes, sir.
Welcome, everyone, to the Cardano Effect Podcast, episode 99. The purpose of this podcast is to take high-level developer information and projects that are occurring within the Cardano space and break them down into bite-sized, consumable pieces of information for everyday use. I'm your host, Philippe, and let's get this podcast started. Rick and myself are the host of the Cardano Effect Podcast, and this is our weekly live stream series where we cover all the latest news and events that happened within this past week within Cardano, and we talk about blockchain as a whole. We also open up the YouTube comment section, so this is a chance for you to ask us questions, and we have a live interaction. If you want to follow along, you can join us on the subreddit Cardano. You can sort by top in this week, and we're just going to go through the list of events that happened. This has been a big week. I'd like to remind everyone that none of what we say in this podcast is financial advice. Remember, you are your best financial advisor, and if you don't think you are, you need to find someone who's qualified to do so. We may touch on price in this episode, so I think we're going to have a good time. Rick, it's been a great week. How are you doing this morning? What's going on? What's happening?
Hey, I'm doing fantastic, Philippe. Thank you for asking. I appreciate it. I would like to give a shout out to the Cardano Foundation for sponsoring this podcast. Thank you very much. We appreciate your support. And I would also like to remind viewers who are new to this podcast, the podcast is available on all major audio streaming platforms. Well, happy Sunday, Philippe. And
Yes.
It looks like we have Mainnet is a go for launch. We are go for launch on Mainnet.
Exciting.
It is. It's going to be in 3 days on July 29th. So if you guys noticed from last week, what happened was there were proposals issued and approved. The votes went through on the proposal on the blockchain, and the blockchain began its countdown to the hard fork. So the hard fork will occur on July 29th, and then pool operators will be bringing their pools up on the mainnet.
Yes.
Good stuff.
And I've received a few questions about when people are going to be able to receive their ITN rewards. It hasn't been officially announced. It's supposed to be August 3rd. So you just need to wait along, and there's going to be documentation whether you kept your ADA in Daedalus or Yoroi. The IOHK team will release an update for Daedalus, and the Emergo team will deal with Yoroi. So just be patient, and you'll be able to withdraw your ITN funds, I would say, within the next week or so.
Yeah, I think August 3rd will be go. It looks like everything's going on time. You know, the software's looking really smooth. A lot of the events in the past couple of days have gone really smooth. I've got some great stats for you. We're approaching the 20th hour since Mainnet Candidate 4 release 1.18.0 software release, and the Genesis for Mainnet Candidate 4 release 20 hours. There are 237 pools up, and then you double that. That's approaching 500 nodes total. 237 pools are up in 20 hours. Good job, Cardano community. Y'all are awesome. We are going for number one. We're going for number one. We ain't messing around. This is working out pretty good, man.
It is.
Y'all did a great job, pool operators. Fantastic work out there. Great job to IOHK. I can't ask for any better. Software's looking great. Very low memory usage. Very low CPU usage. Even under load. During Mainnet Candidate 2, there was a heavy load on transaction testing. Tens and tens of thousands of transactions in short periods of time, over the course of a day. I think at one point I saw it on Mainnet Candidate hit like 1 million or something like that. It just sat there running forever over a period of several days,
Yeah.
It was crazy. It was crazy. And it just kept chugging along.
That's impressive.
Very stable. Very
That's
stable.
impressive.
Yeah,
I don't see this going on in any other crypto community, to tell you the truth. This is really something special. And I think that the market is slowly coming to its right mind. I mean, we've had some major price appreciation in the past month and a half, 2 months. I mean, we're at 15 cents now last time I checked, and we're continuing to climb. So whether we drop from here or not, this chain is here to stay. Cardano's here to stay. And you can see all the work that the pool operators are doing and how decentralized we're going to be. This is not fake. This is real. So get ready to stake, everyone.
Yeah, it's real, man. It's coming.
Yeah.
I appreciate everyone's patience. It's been a long time in the making, and everyone's held strong, stayed true to the principles. You've seen the research. What are we at? Like 60 research papers? Do we even still have that stack? I mean,
It's right here. Let me grab it.
Okay, let's bring out the stack. This is what taking your time and doing your research.
Yeah, so the light is messing it up, but this is double-sided, okay? I tried to save paper here. So this is double-sided. And I think I may be missing the last two papers, so I need to print those. So it's going to go a little bit higher. But it weighs a lot. I would say maybe like 20 pounds, maybe 25 to tell you the truth. It's heavy. It's heavy. So
it's huge. That's nice, man. That's what you get when you do your homework.
Yeah.
All those research papers are coming to life.
Yes.
It won't be long till Gauguin. It won't be long till Voltaire. Those are not far off. Those are planned for 2020. So the research was done right in the first place, and the engineering takes a long time to get it right. And it was tiring the last week. The pool operators have been putting a lot of effort, massive effort. So I got to hand it to them. Well done, going through multiple mainnet candidates. But there was a release by Tim Harrison on the Cardano forum. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. There's a link to it from Tim Harrison's Twitter. And he explains how release 1.18.0, he's highly confident that will be the mainnet release. So my estimate is that come Wednesday, after the hard fork, we may or may not simply have to delete DBs, install the new Genesis files, reboot your nodes, and poof, mainnet. You may or may not have to regenerate the keys, but it's going to be pretty seamless because we have hundreds and hundreds of competent pool operators. So I anticipate a very smooth, no wrecked this time. It's not going to happen. Going too smooth lately. I'm pretty confident. I'm pretty confident in this one.
Time will tell. And I'm also feeling very bullish on these pools. So I think it's going to be a fun and seamless experience. Not like at the beginning of the ITN. We've learned our lessons, and I think it only goes up from here.
I agree. It gets smoother from here. It gets better from here on, and that's what I'm looking forward to. Yeah, I'm pretty happy about it. Let's see. We had a few questions. The crypto chiropractor says, is 1.18 final? 1.18 isn't final. 1.18 will be the transition version. There's no such thing as final. I'm just playing on words there. Hopefully I answered your question. 1.18 will most likely be the transition version. It's running great so far, and I anticipate it will be. Tim's pretty confident that it will be. Okay. Let's see. Any other questions, comments? Let's see here. I think we're good so far. You guys got any questions? Feel free to let us know. Okay. All right. Hopefully we got that out of the way. Didn't we? Okay. You had some information to put out from...
Yes. First of all, I want to thank everyone. We're on episode 99, and this is episode 99 of the Cardano Effect podcast. Rick and I have been doing this for a while. Week in and week out, we've interviewed countless number of people from the Cardano Foundation, Emergo, IOHK, and elsewhere as well. And we've had a lot of live stream episodes, and we've had a lot of support. I don't think many other projects could make it up to episode 99. I mean, there's just not that much to talk about, but we're going to continue going, and we appreciate each and every one of you for getting us to the position that we're in, and we're going to continue growing this podcast. You see this price discovery. Right now, we're at 15 cents. There's a lot of people that are going to be entering, trying to figure out what's going on with Cardano. They can come to the Cardano Effect channel where we have a catalog of 99 videos. They can go to all these other different YouTubers that are also making Cardano videos as well. We have a catalog of information that you can find, and we're going to continue pumping out the content. So we appreciate each and every one of you. And, always try to share our videos if you want to help, or comment, or just like our videos. And we appreciate you tuning in. So without further ado, I'm going to move into a couple articles that we're going to discuss from the Cardano Foundation. Cardano Foundation has been doing a lot of things this year. And I first wanted to open it up to you, Rick, because there was a recent article that came out. I think it was shared on multiple different news sources. And it comes to basically the news said that there were reports on the Cardano Foundation spending $340 million to associate with a cryptocurrency credit card for ADA. And there were a couple news sites that were covering it, local news sites as well, and those reports were false. So, Rick, moving forward, because there seems to be a lot of misinformation when in cryptocurrency in general, when these articles get posted, and there's no official documentation whatsoever. I mean, Cardano Foundation didn't put anything on their Twitter, neither did IOHK or Emergo. What can people look out for? How do people stay safe as far as not like believing hype that hasn't been substantiated? What can they do?
I would say the first rule of thumb is if it looks too good to be true, it's probably not true, first of all. Also, keep an eye on like Cardano Foundation news sources, the forum.cardanofoundation.org. And I know people say, well, we're in crypto and, we want to be decentralized and official, blah, blah, blah. Well, there's people who are in positions to learn and know and understand what is true and what is not true. So you got to find a good source of the truth. Unfortunately, in cryptocurrencies, there's a lot of incentive for certain organizations who hold bags in a certain cryptocurrency to put out information that is just not true. They want to hype it. They just want to pump up the project and probably pump and dump, If you see someone overhyping the project or hyping the project beyond what you think is reasonable, then it's probably just hype, For example, the MasterCard thing that came out, I didn't really want to touch on that, but, there's a lot of stuff that gets kind of kicked around about that. But the general idea right now is people don't really want to spend their cryptocurrencies. So, if some sort of credit card comes, I think that would be a good development. I don't know if we're ready for that yet. I did some Twitter polls. And if you do a Twitter poll and you say, would you be willing to spend your cryptocurrency? I got like 59% people. Would you be willing to spend it on everyday utilities? 59% of the people said, yeah, I would spend it. But then if you kind of invert the question and say, would you use a debit card when crypto's in a bear market? And more than 60% have said no. So it depends on how the market's going. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would hope that eventually we could spend crypto as if it was any other kind of cash or fiat. We'll get there. It takes time. Change takes time. So
definitely.
Yeah.
So and I was talking to you about just based on that Twitter poll of people just wanting to hoard cryptocurrency until it reaches its main value. If we compare it with companies that were in the .com bubble, so if we compare it with Amazon in the late 1990s, when the stocks, the price per share was a lot less than what it is now. But now you look at these companies like Amazon and Apple, and people sell their shares all the time. So, perhaps in the future when cryptocurrency becomes a little bit more stable and it has more utility, then people would be willing to maybe part with their ADA or part with their whatever cryptocurrency. And I think that staking is going to help people. It's going to actualize some of those returns, because I think a lot of people that are tuning in now, they want to create these passive income sources so they can live off of their rewards. So maybe that's what's going to be circulating within the economy.
Yeah, I think it'll eventually take place where you gain the utility and the ease of use of the cryptocurrency to the point where you can do anything with it, purchase directly with crypto without having to go through a crypto to cash converter, third party or middleman, right? So that'll happen eventually. It just takes time. But I like the way you put that with the, how'd you say that? Not the price appreciation, but it finds its market value.
Yes, yes. Like a price discovery kind of phase.
Price discovery, that was it. So it went to where it belongs, where it needs to go. Like where Amazon was really cheap in the early 90s and it would double and people would sell it or hold it, and it would double again, or whatever happened to it. But now it's kind of normalized. So, I mean, you'll see that with crypto too.
Yes, yes.
And once you see it start to normalize and also the utility is developed on it, then you'll probably see it normal transactions, kind of like what happens now with the Amazon and Apple stocks that used to double every so often.
Yes, yes.
If it's doubling, no one's going to use it, no one's going to sell it.
That is true.
Just doubled. What am I going to do? I mean, not financial advice, but
no, not financial advice. But as far as ADA, we're still in that price discovery phase because we're supposed to be running the new financial stack of the world, and we're supposed to operate within a certain realm. Our current market cap doesn't reflect that. So we are far from where we're supposed to be. And I think it's going to be more apparent as new products get released what we're capable of. But we're still in that phase where no one's going to part with their ADA right now at this second, or not a lot of people will. Maybe if they're traders, they will. But if they're like long-term hodlers, I think they're going to wait for a certain market cap value or a certain price that they have in their head.
Yeah, and what I'm curious to see is how many developers show up on Cardano. I've got a hunch it's going to be significant. That there's going to be a large number of developers who just say, I don't know how many, just say, you know what, I want to develop on that platform. Looks like it was built right. Developers love to develop. That's why they're called developers, right? They like to write code. They like to learn new things. So I think we'll be pleasantly surprised when that happens. I'm also pleasantly surprised to see all of the tools that currently exist, even for the pool operators, like CN Tools that was built by the Operator Guild, which is a software program that pool operators can use to rapidly build pools, rapidly deploy pools, and send transactions. There's some tools built by Martin over at Atada. I think it's Austria, Ada Austria, I think is his pool, Atada. He's made some scripts to make things easier, and this is just for the bringing the pools up online. The Plutus Playground has been out there for quite some time, and people who are proficient in Solidity and building on crypto, they've probably been looking at that playground and doing things with it. So I anticipate you'll see a pretty good influx of developers building on Cardano. I won't be surprised when we see it.
Agreed.
Yeah. Oh, I did have a question there. Oh, I just scrolled past it. Sorry. There was a question about, from the Crypto Chiropractor. Thank you for your questions. I appreciate it. Crypto Chiropractor asks, I've asked this before, but let's say a pool operator only has 100,000, 150,000 ADA and likely no delegates at this time. With Cave 150 or 250, will I see no blocks minted at all until Cave 1000? You will see blocks minted. Currently, the difference between about 100K to about $1 million, we ran the spreadsheets with UMed on here before. There will be little difference in the pledge amounts in that range, but the pool will make blocks as long as it has stake applied to it. Okay, so K equals 150, pledges, stakers stake to the pool, that pool will make blocks. But as long as they have stake applied to the pool, it'll make blocks. So it doesn't have to be K equals 1000. Right now, or when July 29th through August 18th, the parameter to be alert to, it doesn't really affect delegators that much, but that's the D parameter. Will start off D equals 1, which is not decentralized. I know I mentioned on the last podcast. D equals 1. The federated nodes will make all the blocks, and then as D counts down, the network begins to decentralize. So, yeah, K parameter 100 is Cave 100 is fine. 150 is fine. The pools that have stake on them will make blocks. I hope I answered your question there. All right. What else?
Rick, we have a question from CT Guitar Guy. We should discuss the low staking rewards percentage. So if you're not familiar, the rewards are probably going to be between 5 and 6%, oscillating within that range. People are used to the higher returns in the ITN, but you have to also remember that the epoch length was 1 day within the ITN. Now it's a 5-day time period. And if you're comparing it with other crypto projects, I understand where your point of reference is coming. There are a lot of other DPoS projects, so delegated proof of stake projects that are offering returns like 10%, 12%, 15%, even a little bit more. Our staking model is a little bit different. I think that it's very innovative the way we're doing it. We're not DPoS. And we also the returns are less important than the actual price appreciation of the native asset that you're holding. You know, staking rewards come from inflation. It comes from new currency being minted within the protocol. We do have a max circulating supply. Eventually, that's going to be reached. But that 5% incrementation, I don't see any issue with it. Especially how, if you look at the price of ADA currently, a lot of people are believing in the actual asset and the price of ADA is going up. That's more important than the actual 10% or 15% that you're getting. It's just inflation in the system. So I don't necessarily think the higher the better in that situation. What do you think, Rick?
I think if with it set at 4.6%, what the returns you'll get will likely be higher. The way it works is, okay, I don't know the precise math, so don't stick me. The math is complicated, all right? I can usually only count to 10 because I got 10 fingers. But at 4.6%, that is if you have 32 billion ADA, which is what will deploy on mainnet, and 32 billion is staked. If only 22 billion is staked, which is my guesstimate, then it will be something higher than that. So the less ADA that actually gets staked, the higher the percent rewards becomes. So it will be something higher than 4.6%. I'll give you an example. And again, this is an example, right? Sorry. All right. On mainnet candidate 3, I tested a pool. The pool operators were testing pools, and I saw massive rewards. What did I have in that? Well, with 150,000 staked, it had rewards on that of 20,000 in 2 days, which the epics were accelerated, and there was a really low percent being staked. That is not real mainnet, but it went really high. So the less that is staked, the protocol will incentivize people to stake by increasing the rewards and thus bringing people back into the staking process, thus achieving equilibrium in the staking, right? So the less people that stake, the higher the rewards. Oh, DJ Diablo asked me about that this morning too. So yeah, Henrik is in chat. Hi, Henrik. Good to see you here. Okay, so does that make sense? So 4.6% is a baseline number setting, okay?
Yeah.
And then the less people that stake, the more it'll go up from there, right? The end result. The math is complicated. I can't do the math. Sorry, I got my shoes on. Can't count above 10.
So that's basically a hint for you to get familiar with Daedalus and Yoroi at the very beginning, because that transition period where people are going to be trying to figure out how to stake, you could be earning more rewards because people are just not in the system yet. Things may look a lot different 3 months from now or 5 months from now or 6 months from now, especially as Cardano proves Cardano proves itself as a viable staking platform where people can earn significant ROS, and you'll hear stories about people earning decent amount of rewards. It's going to introduce more and more people into the ecosystem. So the earlier the better. And everyone that's watching this, you can figure out your strategy, but get familiar with those wallets now. Get familiar with those wallets today.
Philippe, now that you just spoke through that, you made me realize this is a really interesting incentive model. It really is. Let's say if the price were to appreciate, the price of ADA goes up, people were motivated to sell, or they're incentivized to sell. So they want to sell it, which means it came out of the staking pool and got moved around one way or another, right? Which then causes the rewards to go up if you stake. So there's voltage to keep it staking, and then there's also voltage or incentives to also trade and sell and do whatever else. I'm curious to see what happens. I want to see how this works.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, we got a snapshot of it on the ITN, and the general idea worked well. So once all the factors are in play and it's actually tradable on exchanges and stakeable, once those two entities are competing between trading and selling on exchanges or staking out of your own wallet with your own keys, it's going to be interesting, man.
Yeah.
I got a lot to learn.
Agreed.
There's going to be people studying this for years going, they did what?
I think so. I think so.
Yep. The analysis is going to be a lot better. Number go up, number go down,
Yeah, yeah,
It's going to get complicated because humans, I once heard someone describe like the stock market is the smartest thing on earth because what you have is millions of people making decisions with skin in the game. And that causes the stock market to be intelligent because of all those decision-making processes that come together. Okay, but based on people voting with their wallet, right?
yeah,
They put a lot of thought into it. The same thing is happening in Cardano and proof of stake systems because people are voting for the wallet. And another thing I'm curious to see how well this pans out is with proof of stake, everyone is a miner. Every staker is a miner. I know I mentioned that on previous podcasts, but I'm curious to see how that incentivizes people to hold and stake when the prices go up and down, and how they respond. I think it adds a complexity to the environment that we have yet to understand.
yeah. No, definitely.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. I mean, operators aside, operators that were operating with the ITN, I think that they're going to remain as operators for a sustained period of time in the mainnet. But with the current pledge requirements and how the A0 and K factor is, for people that are starting pools after, like, I don't know, in 6 months or a year, I think it's going to be a lot more illiquid in the sense that they're going to be pool operators dropping in and out just because the A0 and K factor are not super friendly to running a pool long term. So I think you're going to have a small base of operators that you're going to see for a long duration of time, but there are going to be a lot of new people that start pools and stop pools, and I think it's just going to be a constant balancing act and trying to find that equilibrium for a while.
It will be. And also, hopefully, a lot of the pool operators can kind of tough it out for a little while because with K equals 150, you're going to have optimal efficiency is at 150. We're probably going to find a happy place around 400 pools making blocks. That was my guesstimate. But as that K parameter creeps up over the coming years and decades, decades from now, K could equal 10,000. I don't know. It's going to be some higher number than what it is today. But if people who get in early are probably going to see the highest rewards, right? Because of the stake percentage. And then the pool operators that can tough it out for the long haul, they're probably going to see K value go up over time, most likely. There was a good question in chat from Martin. Where'd it go? I keep scrolling away. Martin was there. He had a question. Shoot. I shouldn't say it until I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it and I touched my mouse and off it goes. There it is. Hey, hi. So Martin Lang is there from Atada, and he said, how will pool ops be able to vote if the funds are in the CLI keys? Vote via CLI. I don't know Martin, but Martin is a creator of many scripts that people are using. So thank you, Martin. It'd be great to have you on here if you want, or if you'd like to let us know in chat how you do it, making those scripts. Good job on keeping up with the rapid releases of the mainnet candidates, because every time a new candidate comes out, he's got to go through there and modify the code. So thank you for that, Martin. Well, the general idea is with voting, pool operators are not going to be the voters. The stake that's applied to a pool does not give the pool operator the ability to vote. It doesn't work like that in Cardano. There's going to be a separate group of experts, and the voting is going to have to occur in deadless. I mean, it's going to have to go into a user interface. People who are experts in financial stuff are not necessarily experts in using a command line interface, so we'll have to make life easy for them. We're going to have to get dataless or maybe a different GUI, maybe a different software application altogether, so that individual people, individual stakers and delegators, you can vote with your own stake, or you can delegate your stake to an expert once Voltaire comes out. You do not have to delegate your stake to a pool as a voter. You can delegate your money to a pool, and you can delegate your stake to an expert for voting purposes. Two totally separate functions. They are not the same function. So hopefully that answers your question, Martin. And again, thank you, Martin, for all the hard work you do for Cardano. I appreciate it.
All right. Rick, we have a question from Kaizen Crypto. Do you guys know how it works with delegating rewards. When the rewards are paid to a wallet, the balance goes up. Well, you have to make a new transaction to delegate the greater amount. So basically, rewards compounding.
If you delegate your rewards from your staking wallet, make sure I get this right, address, if you use the same address, when the rewards go into that address that you used for your pledge address, then it will automatically restake. Yes.
Yes.
Not just for pool operators, but for anyone. Yeah. God, I got to think through this a little more.
No, I think you're right. You're right. The rewards are compounding, so I think it goes back into the same delegating wallet. You don't have to recheck. You don't have to come in every 5 days and re-delegate that little rewards that you got.
That's a good way of putting it. Thank you, sir. Thank you. When you delegate it, the rewards come in to that wallet you delegated from, it will redelegate automatically.
Yeah.
Okay. It'll compound automatically. And you know what? These are good questions for episode 100 is going to be a stake pool operator episode on July 29th. What about that, Philippe? We couldn't have timed it any better, huh?
I mean, this is crazy. 100 on the day Shelley is like live officially, when everyone can come in and start playing around. I mean, this is incredible. So join us for episode 100. It's probably going to be an evening episode, so evening Eastern Standard Time. So if people are in Europe, I don't know, that's more early morning time for you. But we're just gonna have a fun time and do another live stream to celebrate that day, July 29th. So
it's going to be a long day for pool ops, because if the pool ops have to regenerate their keys, and also the podcast is available for them to come on, that's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot. So we're just make sure you have a lot of coffee, I guess.
Yeah.
Drink a lot of coffee. Do whatever. These guys been pushing, man. IOHK, the developers, all the guild operators and all those, they've been working hard, man. They've been working hard. And you know what? I've seen IOHK has job applications going out, or job advertisements going out. Cardano Foundation has been hiring people. If you check the Cardano Foundation's Twitter, they got person after person that they've hired a lot of new people coming on. And so that is a good indicator. I like that. That's a positive sign that things are moving in the right direction.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. Yep. We've been in a bear market for so long, and it seems like IO Global, the Cardano Foundation, and Emergo have just been growing. So just imagine what they can do when the bulls come back. And it seems like they're coming back right now, but we don't want to jinx it because everything could crash tomorrow. But we'll stick with that 15 cents price right now and say that the bulls are returning. So that being said, I have a few announcements from the Cardano Foundation. They released a forum article basically highlighting everything that they did in 2020. I wanted to run through some accomplishments. I have some notes written down just so I don't forget. So the Cardano Foundation, speaking about growth, they have employees in 15 different countries, 21 different locations, and 22 nationalities. In January of this year, the Cardano Foundation attended the World Economic Forum in Davos. And the Cardano Foundation took part in discussions to discuss blockchain governance, institutional use, enterprise, and evolution of financial markets. Some of the partnerships that emerged from that meeting in Davos were a proof of concept with a company called ScanTrust, which connects goods and tracks them on a platform. A company called Gen2, which is an ADA-denominated investment asset class. A company called Dust Identity, which is a blockchain-based solution for inking physical items with digital records, which was an interesting one because a company called Algorand, a blockchain project called Algorand, also invested in them. And I think that they do something about tracking diamonds, so putting diamonds on the blockchain. That's what I saw on their website. Another company called Finca, which is a livestock investment platform. A company called LO3, which is energy decentralization. And a company called Like Corporation. And some of these companies, I mean, I did some independent research. Some of them are doing something, others are not. So it's going to be interesting moving forward because I think the stats in the traditional world, if you look at venture capitalists, around 75% of startups die. And the thing that's going to be different about this is the Cardano Foundation is supposed to represent the community. So as we move towards the decentralized fund or any funds that are going on within Cardano, it's going to be interesting to get a collective thought of what we should push forward within this ecosystem. So we're not wasting money in the sense that we're not funding projects that have a high likelihood of just dying, or because like one of the projects I saw, LO3, they haven't updated their website in a couple years. So, that's not where I would want to throw community money into, or that's not what I would want to invest in. But moving forward, I mean, as these companies build solutions and as they're asking for funding, it's going to be up to you. It's going to be up to me. It's going to be up to each one of you. If you have your ADA within Daedalus, Voltaire release, it's going to be up to you to choose where we should allocate our funds, what we should be doing, what projects we should be funding, what we should be getting excited about. Because the blockchain is a buzzword. So any company can use the word blockchain and try to extract some money, or that's just how it works. We just need to be methodical with how we distribute funds, and I think long term it's going to be very lucrative for all of us. And then moving forward, we had the Project Renovar, this was the McCann partnership. So McCann, they do advertising and marketing, and they do rebrands for lots of different companies, lots of Fortune 500 companies, and they're very well known. So you can go to the Cardano.org website and check out their new platform. I thought it was a very nice website, Rick. I thought they displayed the information. They're displaying the information very well. There's portals for each person, whether you're an institutional investor or you're a stake pool operator or whether you're an ambassador. I don't know. Do you have any thoughts about the new rebrand of that website? And
yeah, I like that it's simple. So That's good. It's easy to navigate. It has everything. Is it a one-stop shop? Yeah, kind of. I didn't see what the links for downloads of the wallets aren't on there yet, but yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks very professional, very simple, and I think I thought they did a good job with it.
Yeah, I'm no good at designing, man. I look at it and go, okay, if I understand it as soon as I look at it, and I can, looks good to me.
Yeah.
I like simple.
Good.
Sometimes high tech, but I like high tech and complex stuff too. Anyone who plays video games knows what I'm talking about. The more flashy, the better. We had a few questions in there. We don't do financial advice, but one of the questions. Oh wait, that was great news. I wanted to follow up on that news, Philippe. You still got more news? Because
yes, I still have
okay,
more news.
Okay, keep going, man. Keep going. I'll check the questions later in the chat. There's quite a few questions in there coming up.
All right, and then
because there's so much news in Cardano, man. You could do Cardano daily, and
Rick, it's just a week, and we can't even run through everything that happened. We have to summarize things and give bullet notes. So
just give the short, And Crypto Visor and Kaizen and Big Pay are putting out stuff like every day between the three of them.
Yeah, they're pumping.
There's always something out there, so make sure you check out the plethora of Cardano YouTube channels that are available at your fingertips.
Yes.
We're killing it, man.
Yeah,
you got a lot of YouTubers now.
We do. The project is growing. We also had the Phase 2 rewards program for Cardano ambassadors that the Cardano Foundation released. There's around 58 ambassadors from 26 countries, 28 different languages. There are 4 roles right now: content creator, meetup organizer, moderator, and translator. There was also the launch of the CIP framework, which was the Cardano improvement proposal. We had Sebastian and we had Tiago show up for that, and Matthias as well. Mm-hmm. And you can check out that Cardano Effect episode. This is not the funding proposal whatsoever. This is to improve the protocol. So if you're a developer and you want to make some edits to the code or you want to add a feature, that's where you go. The CIP framework. That's how you submit a proposal.
Yeah, and I like the way Matthias described it as it's a catalog of ideas, and developers can go to that catalog, find the ideas they think are important, and they can develop towards it.
Yes.
That's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Yes. And Cardano Foundation added some new team members. So I would like to give a shout out to Mariam Majoub as a marketing manager, Mel McCann as platforms integrations engineer, Jeremy Furster as the project manager, John McPherson as the exchange relationships manager, Victor Alagbi and Elliot Hill as copywriters for both marketing and communications department, Nazim Farour as the technical writer, to assist, and they're all assisting with Cardano development documentation. I mean, this shows you how big this project is. The fact that they're hiring so many different people, all the way from technical writers to partnership exchange developers. This project is just huge. It's just growing, growing, growing. It has its own legs. And then the Cardano Foundation, looking forward to the future, they recently committed a donation of $2,500 in ADA to a trust graphic novel, which is a story of a young Kenyan woman who transforms her community with blockchain, and the novel will be published in 2021 to educate young people across the African continent about the importance of decentralized financial infrastructure. Some of the donors are Interchain Foundation, Consensus, Gitcoin, and Marketing DAO. So hopefully that $2,500 appreciates greatly in ADA and helps fund that project. And the Cardano Foundation's team includes speakers from 22 different languages, and it is just good. So this is the summary. I printed out some notes of everything that happened within 2020 for the Cardano Foundation and what they're moving forward towards. So shout out to them. They've really turned things around. I mean, Cardano Foundation, Rick, we met for the first time in person at Plutus Fest in 2018, where the Cardano Foundation wasn't doing anything. There were a lot of issues, and in 2.5 years, things have really turned around. So shout out to them.
Yep, well done. Great job. It's been an amazing year, that's for certain.
Yes.
Even before 2020, all the way through early 2019 up until now, just been massive amount of effort moving forward. Yeah. All right. Thanks for that recap, Philippe. That was a lot of stuff, man.
Goodness. Yeah, that's too much stuff to cover.
It is. All right, so a few questions there. There was a question about, do you guys think Cardano could, this is from CT Guitar Guy, could Cardano one day reach the $1 trillion, which is Charles's dream? Well, it depends on your time horizon, but we don't do financial advice. 1 trillion's just a number. Could be kind of low. Could be higher. Who knows? I don't know. The U.S. printed $6 trillion in the last 4 months, so I don't see why not. I'm okay with that. I don't think it's unrealistic to say the sky's the limit. There is no limit. It's a big ocean out there.
Yeah, it is a big ocean. And you're right.
Plus, we're not even running stable coins yet. What if one of these big financial places, what if they say, oh, this Cardano thing's kind of cool. Let's slap a big pile of money behind it and make a stable coin, whatever that is, right? And, oh, look, our transactions will occur either faster or more secure or more, whatever. And you never know. Sky's the limit. Not financial advice.
I also need to talk about market cap valuations in crypto. I know they look insane, but it's not actually the amount of money that's sitting in that project. There's a multiplier. Like if you look at Bitcoin, I don't know what the market cap for Bitcoin is. 100 million, maybe 100 billion, maybe
I think it's
200
billion.
Yeah, oscillating between 100 billion and 200 billion dollars. But I guarantee you, if someone with $1 billion worth of Bitcoin right now dropped it on the exchange, like started selling, the price would plummet dramatically, meaning that the actual liquidity within that cryptocurrency is less than what the market cap looks like. So you saying that there's a market cap of $1 trillion for Cardano doesn't necessarily mean that you can pull out $1 trillion. So given that, market caps can go as high as possible. I mean, of course, within limit, but if Bitcoin will probably hit $1 trillion market cap at some point. And from the words of Rick, we're going for number one. So, if that's
number one, man.
Yeah. So given that logic, if Bitcoin hits $1 trillion market cap, then we, just by Rick saying, and I agree with what Rick is saying,
connect the dots.
It may go there, it may go there. So we just have to wait and see.
Yeah. I don't think there's a limit. I wouldn't put a limit on it. Yeah. I don't think there's a bottom either. It works both ways. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Could go to zero.
Yeah.
Could go to Buzz Lightyear's infinity and beyond. I know. You never know. Yeah. So what was it? So what was Bitcoin? Right now, Bitcoin's at 182 billion.
182 billion.
Yeah.
So it has to 5x to hit $1 trillion. So what's the price? So it has to get to $50,000 Bitcoin, and people are calling for, what is it, $100,000 Bitcoin? So I'm pretty sure at some point Bitcoin may reach $50,000, or maybe it won't, but it's possible.
Yeah, you
It's
never know.
possible. So
You never know. It does one thing, and it does it well.
yeah,
Okay, it's immutable. No one can shut it down.
yeah,
That's all. That's all I know.
yeah,
Can't shut it down. Yeah. Man, Cardano's gonna be so solid, so solid.
yeah,
Yeah. There's concern over DDoS attacks and stuff like that, which is a reasonable concern. But the pool operators are pretty smart, and people have many ideas on mitigating it. And I think it'll be good. It'll be fine.
yeah.
It'll have its bumps and bruises, but like anything else, it'll survive that and get stronger. That's just how it works.
Sounds
Okay.
good.
Let's see. We had a couple other questions, and I touched my keypad again, and I can't see. When staking Fiori hardware wallet users from Tony McBride, Trezor will probably be sooner than later. So Trezor, there's a video from Sebastian Guillemot, so make sure you check out Sebastian's video on that. I did not get a chance to watch it yet, but I have that bookmarked. I need to watch that video from Sebastian. Okay. So Trezor will be staking sooner. Ledger, I don't know. The time horizon's a little longer. It's a little more complicated, I think. Have you heard anything? I don't know any more than that.
No, I don't know any more than that. I mean,
Okay.
Ledger is probably going to integrate with Yodoi first. I don't think it's in the near-term roadmap for Daedalus. It will come eventually, but I think that there are other issues that they have to deal with first. I mean, building out Voltaire and stuff like that, I think it's going to take precedence over some of these issues. I find Daedalus an extremely secure wallet. You just need to make sure that the computer that you're using, the machine that you're using, you're taking proper safety protocols when you're downloading stuff. And it's not an infected computer, and you're downloading from official sources. If you do that, I guarantee you're going to be fine. I mean, if you're downloading it from the official DailyWallet.io website, you have a clean PC. You know, you have no logs on your computer or any sort of things that can compromise your security. Daedalus is fine. I mean, I've been using Daedalus since the beginning.
And never click on links in emails or Telegram or social media. If you don't know what it is, don't click on it.
Correct.
There's a lot of people. I know people are well aware of computer safety, but yeah, that's very important. You don't know what that email is. You don't know what that link is. Just delete it and ignore it. You don't need it. You'll find it. You'll find what you need somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was another question. Is there still going to make Hisoshi from Falcon Eye Vision make a video on one-stop stake pool video tutorials? It's in the thought process, but not yet. Falcon Eye Vision. It's changing too rapidly currently. For example, in the last 2 weeks, command lines may have changed. Various parts of command lines may have changed 3 or 4 times. So by the time you get done making and releasing a video, it would already be obsolete. And at that point, it would just confuse people. So once the command line interface stabilizes, you'll probably see more people making YouTube videos on how to build a stake pool. Okay.
Yes.
Ooh.
CT Guitar Guy says, what happens if your PC breaks or you need to upgrade? Does your ADA disappear? No, it does not. You need to have your seed phrase. So those are the words that are provided to you when you create a wallet. So regardless if your PC breaks, you drop it from a window, you can't access it anymore. All you need to do is get another PC or pull up Daedalus on another computer and restore your seed phrase, and your ADA is going to be there. Your ADA is not stored on your computer. It's on the blockchain. So it's not on your specific device. It is within the Cardano protocol. So you can recover whenever you'd like.
Yes. Yep. It's stored out there in the world somewhere on the blockchain. That's what scares some people. You know that? I had a suggestion from Brian, he said we should do a Cardano for beginners, Cardano for dummies episode, because when he talks with family members and friends, they really don't understand it. And that kind of relates back to, remember I told you my daughter watched our podcast a couple times, and she said, I don't understand what you guys are talking about.
Yeah.
What we think is normal everyday dialogue to the average person, it's foreign. It doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't make any sense to them, because they're like, what are you talking about? blockchain. What do you mean it's stored out there in the world? One person said to me, I said, yeah, you don't have to worry about the money getting taken off your computer because it's out there in the world on the blockchain. And they're like, what? That can't be secure. I'm like, oh yeah, it's very secure. And they're like, no way.
Yeah.
So the concept is very strange to people. So there were some suggestions to do some beginner level episodes, Cardano basics level episodes. I'm looking forward to the day somebody writes the book Mastering Cardano, like Andreas Antonopoulos, Mastering Bitcoin.
I like Andreas. I have both of his books, but I have both of his books, and I read both of them, and I was disappointed. It's personally, I just thought there were quotes from his speeches. Like, I think he just recycled his speeches and put blurbs everywhere, but I was disappointed. I read both of them.
There's a lot of code in Mastering Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Like scripting and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But at least it's out there.
Yeah.
You got to break the ice somehow. But there are some master authors out there. I've seen a lot of good articles written in Cardano. And I wonder where Undersearcher went. I haven't seen Undersearcher in a while. He wrote the best articles. Where's he at? Where'd he go, Undersearcher?
I said Mastering Bitcoin. I was talking about the Internet of Money.
The Internet of Money.
Yeah,
okay.
I have both of those volumes. I don't have Mastering Bitcoin. So yeah,
okay.
Yeah, I knew I was messing some title up. So
yep, that's a problem when you do a live stream. If you make a mistake or you misspeak, that's permanent.
Yeah, permanent. Now it's permanently there. Yeah. So
let's see. Peter Perel asks, can you stake with 10,000 ADA on the mainnet? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You can stake with 1 ADA, right?
Correct.
1 ADA.
Correct.
Everyone's a miner. Everyone gets to participate. Everyone gets to participate. Anyone who holds ADA can stake. 1 ADA. That's all you need.
Yes. Sounds
yeah, oh good. People are helping each other out answering questions. Thank you. Appreciate that. Let's see. Let me see. I don't have any other questions there. Should we do a quick Reddit recap? We are approaching the hour. We got about 10 minutes.
Yeah,
we got about 10 minutes left.
Let me drop the link as well if you want to follow along.
Yeah. Okay. So on Reddit. And if you guys hadn't seen it, I'm going to go over to Reddit. There's Charles's Saturday Night Live video went pretty well. But I've got to tell you, check out the video that Charles Hoskinson did earlier this week on how Atala Prism and Cardano can solve Twitter's problems with hacking, and it's absolutely brilliant. It is absolutely brilliant with a verified tweet, because the person with the keys, the private key and the public key, when they go to make their tweet, is they would sign that tweet and it would be a verified tweet. And in his example, he said it could be like blue in color, or it can have a check mark or whatever it is. But the only way the tweet will get that is if the real person signs the tweet. It's very simple. And he said he would do it at cost. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a brilliant idea. I mean, I do it with email using GPG Suite on a Mac. And I just install a plugin for GPG Suite. And you can sign the email and encrypt it. Well, you can sign it with one click and encrypt it with another click. It's one click.
Is there another way to verify identity on top of that? Because what if the device that the person is using to tweet gets compromised, as far as someone has your cell phone or someone has access to your computer and then sends a tweet that's verified, and then people hold that as gold, even though if it wasn't that person?
Well, I think this would be a good question for James Kelly, because he's a cybersecurity expert. But basically, if someone has physical access to a device, trumps all other access. It doesn't matter the best hacker in the world, the worst hacker in the world. If someone has physical access, that overrides almost all security features. So that's all I can say about that. But if the device itself is compromised, it depends on the device and how it handles security. So there are, in some instances, you can have compromised devices. Modern operating systems are very secure, but again, they're only as secure as the user practicing good security habits. So if a device is compromised, it's kind of hit and miss.
Interesting.
Yeah. it is kind of hard to get the keys. Things are getting very hack resistant, but there's no such thing as hack proof. So that's the world we live in. Yeah. So
Okay.
again, Charles' video, check that out on how a Tala Prism could be used to secure Twitter, because Twitter went through all the crazy hacks. And we talked with James Kelly last week about that. And then 4 days later, Charles throws the answer out there for at cost.
Yeah.
I was like, dang. He never
I
runs
saw-
out of ideas.
And I saw that you commented that Charles needs to get his blue check mark. I mean, just for that video.
Yeah. Some good the blue check marks are, because everybody that had blue check marks got hacked. That was
Yeah.
probably a social engineering attack.
That is true. So
He was able to still tweet because he didn't have a blue check mark. So what are those worth nowadays? Not much. I would rather have the private key and a Tala and sign my own tweets, and they can keep the blue check mark. I mean, they can already do it with email. In
Yeah.
Gmail, there's a plugin called Mailvelope. It's a plugin on Gmail. You install Mailvelope, watch a YouTube video on Mailvelope, and you can encrypt your Gmail from the local web browser using the plugin.
interesting.
You know, Gmail, I mean, it's probably secure, but I'm sure it's being used for something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing's perfect. Like Proton Mail, I have Proton Mail,
Yeah.
but it doesn't work in airplane mode. If you can't connect to the internet, you can't decrypt it locally. The data doesn't decrypt.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. I'm not sure why that is, but it's got to connect to the server for you to be able to decrypt it.
Okay.
Maybe they'll sort that out. All right, what else on Reddit? We had, the Shelley hard fork coming up on the 29th. Massive news, big news. Did I sort this correctly? Top this week?
Steve Wozniak sues YouTube for Bitcoin giveaway scam videos.
Good for you, Steve. Hold him accountable. Accountability is important. They're making money off those ads. YouTube is making money off those scams.
Yeah.
Little pennies at a time, but millions and millions of pennies.
Yeah,
It adds up.
it does. It does.
It does. So they need to get that sorted. We got all our ads turned off. Luckily, I found that button, turn off ads, before you hit the live stream button. I didn't know
Yeah.
that button was there. I'm like, oh, geez, yeah, let's hit that one. I wish I could set it to default off. Let's see. Cardano partners the world's first USD certified blockchain firm to offer food traceability solution. Was that the beef chain thing we were talking about a few weeks ago?
Yes, it was.
Okay, I'm sure there's a lot more uses too. You know, people are more conscious of their food these days. Back when I was younger, people didn't read the ingredients. As a matter of fact, I don't think it was even required for ingredients to be listed. Or maybe it was listed. Ingredients were listed, but the vitamin content, sodium content wasn't required when I was younger.
It might be good because, I mean, you see a lot of class action lawsuits all the time for various different food products that are lying on their labels about the ingredients that they have or the quantity of ingredients that they have. So maybe having some sort of verified stamp, like that you say whatever you say on that label is actually what is in there. And maybe that could help out consumers, and that could also reduce the number of class action lawsuits that these businesses have to go through.
Yeah, and reduce the number of people getting sick from eating stuff they probably wouldn't otherwise eat, maybe.
This is true.
I'm not very good about that. I'll read the ingredients and go, oh, wow, that's 25% sodium. Okay, I'll only eat one of them today. And I eat it anyway. It's terrible. But some of my family members are very good about paying attention to what they're eating. So that's good for people who want to know what they're eating.
Yeah. And then,
Okay.
let's see.
Cardano Foundation announces the partnership with the Swiss Lick Group Corporation.
I
did
believe
not
that's an
think-
exchange.
That's it. Yeah, that's an exchange. I did not read all the details on that one. It's an exchange?
Yes. I was looking at it a little bit earlier.
And it's Swiss?
So, yeah, it's Swiss. It's a Swiss exchange, yes.
Oh, that's interesting. That is
Yeah.
interesting. You know, if you combine a Swiss bank and crypto, you might get politicians liking crypto. They'll be like, "Ooh, Swiss bank and crypto. I can hide my campaign funding in there." Yeah, you can get donations from all over the world.
Yeah.
I should probably go talk to some politicians. Say, hey, you want to get some campaign finances?
Yeah.
I'll help you out.
Yeah.
I can hook you up. We'll download Daedalus Wallet. Start financing political campaigns with crypto.
Oh my goodness. I can imagine that. That's definitely a use case right there.
That's a use case for going to prison.
Yeah. I'm sure it's being done already. You know, people probably are donating Monero or other privacy tokens to politicians and somehow converting it back to USD.
Yeah. It's all right. It's just money. It goes around the world lightning fast. Oh, the current network is blazing fast. I see we covered pretty much everything on Reddit. Coming updates, the videos that came out, rockets on the launch pad. But I got to tell you, man, in the last couple of days, we were, as bringing up these mainnet candidates and sending funds, they're blazing fast. Click, and the people on Telegram, they say, hey, I need funds to bring this up because they don't have their wallet up yet. And then they immediately respond and said, got it. It's just lightning fast. I mean, as blockchain should be, but it's amazing, man.
Oh, that's great to hear.
It is.
That's great.
It is amazing. I think the next big thing we have coming out for pool operators shortly, followed by the community in a few days, is Daedalus version 1.6.0-STN4 will be released, hopefully maybe today, for pool operators to get their funding and build their mainnet candidate 4 pools up so they can get them funded. Because right now you'll see like the 230 some odd pools on Pool Tool, but they only have pledges of like 500 ADA, okay? Or 500 or 1,000, it depends. Some people hacked the Daedalus wallet and they like brute forced it into the mainnet correctly, by the way, but they were able to get it to work with mainnet candidate 4, so they were able to move their funds to their wallet. I was thinking about doing it, but I thought, nah, ain't nobody got time for that. So I'll wait for the Daedalus release. The pool operators can fund the pools. Then the cool thing is they can redo their pledge, because right now they're pledging like 500. They can redo that. They can change their stake. They can do whatever they want because the technology lets you do that. And then it'll be opened up to the community so that delegators can put their original 12-word Byron seed in Daedalus, bring their funds into existence on the mainnet candidate 4 testnet, and then delegate their funds. No rewards, right? You will not get the rewards. The rewards will not go over to mainnet, but they will be on mainnet candidate so people can do a test drive on the new Daedalus.
Yes.
And get a feel for the pools. So that's the
Yes.
next thing coming out. That's what's up next on the docket is the next Daedalus release shortly for pool operators to fund the pools, and then they're going to open that up to the community so that people can play along.
Sounds good.
That's
good.
good stuff.
And remember that when Daedalus opens and you can start delegating to pools, you're not going to be receiving rewards immediately. Rewards don't start until mid-August. August 18th is the date, I believe. That's when the first rewards will start. So just be cognizant of that. You have a little bit of time to play around and figure out what you want to do. And that's what the first couple of weeks is for the stake pool operators to get their operations up and running, and for delegators to figure out which pool that they're going to use or which pools that they're going to use, their strategies, and things will kick off in the middle of August. So look for that. And August 3rd is the date for retrieval, the tentative date of retrieval of ITN rewards or ITN funds. And Emergo and IOHK will let you know exactly how to do that.
Yep, so keep your eyes out for new information coming out on the testnet that we're running now, transitioning to mainnet. Lots of stuff going on in the next couple of weeks. Going to be very exciting. It already is exciting. Yeah. And I think that's all we got for today, isn't it, Philippe?
Okay.
Is that a wrap?
Yes, that's a wrap. That's a wrap. And remember, These are wonderful times, but scams will be present. Do not send your ADA to anyone. You're delegating. You're never sending your ADA to anyone. Watch out for spoofs. Watch out for character spoofs. We're not contacting you. I'm not contacting you. Rick is not contacting you, and Charles is not contacting you. None of us are contacting you. We love every one of you, but at the end of the day, you don't know us. We don't know you. Let's keep it that way. Let's make sure we stay safe. Get ready for staking. We appreciate you. This is episode 99 of the Cardano Effect podcast. Episode 100 will be on July 29th, the significant day. Look for it probably 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's what we're aiming for. So join us for episode 100. It coincided perfectly. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone. Enjoy time with your family and friends, and we hope to see you on Wednesday. So until the next episode of the Cardano Effect. Bye, everyone.